Yo guys, Matt coming back at you with another video. I hope all you guys, all you crypto miners out there are holding in tight and trying to stay positive during these very depressing times when it comes to cryptocurrencies and mining in general. I think in order for there to be good times, there has to be bad times. So essentially, what that means is in all situations, well, in life even, I know that I'm not trying to get philosophical, but I think whenever there is times when there's down, there's always times when there's up, meaning there will always be the opportunity to reframe and your perception of how things are in life and in the markets and the crypto markets, and whether that be finances or anything, right? How are we to appreciate the up times when we don't experience the down times? So let's zoom out quickly and take a look at the markets. The markets aren't doing too good, but today we did have actually an increase. We'd had the all-time low of 18,067 per Bitcoin to a high of 20,683. I actually personally bought on about $1,000 worth of Ethereum, or sorry, Bitcoin at the 18,000 mark, and I'm actually a little bit up. Whether or not that's going to hold long term, we don't know. But if you look at the old chart here, where it shows kind of like the all-time analysis of everything, we actually broke down past the previous support level, which is basically the last bull run's high. Essentially, we actually dropped below that. So if we look back here in 2000, I guess when would that be? That would have been back in 2018, probably, right? Where we hit essentially the all-time high here of 2017? I guess it was 2018, around that time frame. I think we were at around 19,000. I'm not sure where that would have been. Obviously, my tactical analysis skills really sucks, but I know that we did break through a critical point here where we hit below 20,000 mark. And if we go scroll backwards here at this point here in time here, we actually were also around 20,000, which is the last high of the bull run in the late 2017, before it went back down into the bear market in 2018, where we saw like $4,000, $3,000 Bitcoin. But if you zoom out, we can see an appreciation for the overall time span of things. If you're a younger individual, for example, if you're in your 20s, early 20s, if you're a teenager, you might not understand that, or you might not have the life experiences to really see that. When times are down, when things are really bad, usually things will rebound and improve. I think that's generally the ebb and flow of the universe, yin and yang, right? Things will rebalance out, and just like all things, I think that Bitcoin will come back to where it was before, just because it's simply following the trends that it has before, right? So that being said, I just kind of want to talk kind of quickly about this Jasminer, which I got recently. I'm not going to do a lot of like a review on it, because there's lots of other channels on the Jasminer itself, the review on the unit and whatnot. And I'll give you some links in the description. You can check it out. You can check out Rapid Mining, Redbox Crypto, Hobbyist Miner. They've all done reviews on this particular unit, and I'm just gonna kind of go over what I'm doing with this unit. So I wasn't sent this unit to review or anything. I actually purchased this unit from my mined Ethereum for my farm earlier. I think a few weeks ago it was, and it came really fast. So it's just Jingle Mining. These guys are legit. JingleMining.com, legitimate. I don't have a promo code, so just go to JingleMining.com to buy it, or just check out one of your favorite YouTubers like Seb. I think I use Seb's coupon code because I really do have appreciation for his videos. He does a great job doing analysis on profit and whatnot. So basically, if you take a look at this Jasminer, you might say, okay, well, $5,999 US, that's a big waste of money, right? I mean, the crypto's tanking, the market's tanking, everything is going in the shitter, right, for the lack of better words. I'd bleep that out if I can. But if we take a look quickly at this, we have basically, so one of the main arguments here is that there's only 5 gigabytes of RAM, and yes, I do agree there's only 5 gigabytes of RAM. That being said, it can only mine Ethereum up until around August this year. Actually, we're coming up on the 5 GB stamp, 5 gigabyte limit. So basically, what what the DAG file is, it's just basically essentially a file that when the mining occurs, the mining software generates these files, and they're kind of like use this table as a reference, right? Like a lookup table almost. And this table has the complete ledger for the blockchain, right? So the more a blockchain gets used, the more mature it is, the faster the DAG file will generally grow. And basically, with these calendars here, we can look at minerstat.com. We can see that the DAG file on Ethereum will hit a cap of 5 GB on the 26th of August, 2022. So if it's 5 GB exactly, we can still mine on it. If it's 1 byte above that, then we can't, right? And we're not going to land directly on 5 GB. It'll probably hop over that around in and around that time. It might not be exactly the 26th, but it's estimated to be around there based off the current growth and the way how many blocks are being added daily and things like that, right? So if we take a look here at what the second algorithm that this actually can mine here is the Ethereum Classic coin here. The DAG file on this is limited 5, right? So we're gonna hit 5, but we're not gonna hit 5 till 2028 August. Okay, 2028 August. I did a little bit of just a little bit of calculations here. Between now, which is August 7th, sorry, is June 19th, 2022, and August 7th, which is when we're estimating that we're gonna hit that 5 GB limit. So basically, after unless we can upgrade the memory on this thing, we have essentially until then to mine on it with either Ethereum. So Ethereum will end this August, or Ethereum Classic, which will give us another 6 years. That's a lot of mining, guys. A lot of time. A lot of things can happen between now and then. And this is kind of my sentiment and my analysis of why I'm thinking it's a good buy right now, and why I'm probably going to pick up another one essentially at some point. But we'll see, right? So basically, the number of days is 2,241. That's a lot of days, right? That's essentially 6 years worth of days between now and August 7th, 2028. And we're going to just kind of look at what this does, right? So we have a hash rate of about 520 mega hash per second. We're pulling around about 240 watts, plus or minus 10% of for margin of error in that. If we take a look here at my Jasminer, actually, we're doing an average hash rate of 572. I did set this unit up to do an overclock. So if you go to the settings here, you have the option of selecting either Ethereum or Ethereum Classic and the frequency, the clock speed. So I put the maximum clock speed, and I'm running on Ethereum right now, and I'll be doing Ethereum until we hit obviously the DAG size limit. Once the DAG size limit's reached, I'm going to be switching over to Ethereum Classic right away. So I've already been making coin off of this unit so far. And right now, I think I checked at the wall. This thing's pulling between, and other YouTubers have done it as well. I don't want to exactly give the exact number, but I think it's between 265 to 270 watts, maybe around there. But we're going to go with, so essentially the average is 572, but we're going to go with the lower, we're going to basically go with the specs that it's giving here. So 520 mega hash at 240 watts, roughly the same on both algorithms. So that's ETC hash, which is for Ethereum Classic, and ET hash, which is strictly for Ethereum. If we go over to the what to mine here, we could basically put the two in here, and we're going to do that right now real quick. So we're gonna assume it's exactly according to manufacturer's specifications, because usually there will be a little bit better, small variances within 10% of error, but you'll see based off the calculations it won't really matter too much. So let's run the calculations for these two algorithms and these two coins, and we're looking at a profit of $6.99 per day according to current market trends, which is pretty bad right now. We'll talk about that in a second. And Ethereum Classic is 563. So if we mine 563, and for the purposes of this video and break even in ROI, I'm just going to ignore Ethereum. So we're going to assume that we're not mining Ethereum at all right now. Okay, so we're going to just go Ethereum Classic. So we're going to jump. It's nice to see that, but we're going to assume, okay, we're just going to do Ethereum Classic since day one. Okay, so what that's going to do is that's going to net us 0.00030. Sorry, that's Bitcoin. It's going to net us 0.4122 Ethereum Classic per day. Okay, based off of what it is right now. So I'm not looking at the money right now. I'm kind of looking at the coin. Now you kind of see where I'm going with this. I don't care about the money. 563 is whatever. I'm looking at the amount of coin that I'm getting. And this is why you should be looking at the coin, which is basically the yield and not the actual amount of money you're getting back right this instant. A couple footnotes. One, this is probably one of the most, if not the most efficient Ethereum Classic ASIC in the world right now. I don't know of any other ones. meaning that if there's going to be anything on Ethereum Classic, it's going to be these ones, and these ones are going to be at the top of the profitability levels. Just because the power consumption is so low and the hash rate is so high, these will be king of Ethereum Classic unless someone comes out and beats it, right? So we're going to assume this is the cream of the crop if you have one of these. And Ethereum Classic doesn't go away. Obviously, it still needs to be mined because it's still proof of work, that we're going to assume this is the best of the best. So that being said, we're going to head back over here to what to mine again, and we're going to take note of that 0.4122. Okay, so I'm going to take out my little trusty notepad here, and let's take a look at what I did here. So we're going to assume two different scenarios. One, pre-merge, assuming the merge never happens, and two, post-merge, assuming the merge does happen. We don't know when the merge is going to happen. It could happen. It might not happen. It could happen this year. It might not happen till next year. It doesn't matter for the purpose of this comparison. So we're looking right now essentially at the pre-merge yield per day now. That's if obviously things like the difficulty and all these things don't change, which they will probably go down, or actually it will go up. Actually, what we're talking about, it's going to go up after everyone jumps over in Ethereum Classic, and we'll talk about that here. But let's talk about if it stays the same. If it stays the same the way it is now, we're yielding 0.4125 Ethereum Classic coins per day at a total of 2,141 days. Okay, that gives us a total of 924 coins. So basically, on August 7th, 2028, this thing's been running since today. You'll have 924 coins. All things remain the same. At today's price, yeah. So at today's price, we're looking at. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we're looking at 924 coins. So let's do the math here. I don't know why I didn't put it down there. I'll just show you guys here. So say we yielded 924.41 coins at 1530, which is what Ethereum Classic is going for. That gives us 14,470. So we'll say, yeah, so 14,047 cents. Okay. So if we took all the coin that we make from now until 2028 in August, and we, assuming the coin, everything remains the same, which it won't, nothing ever does, we're looking at basically we'll have made $14,143. Okay, so if you're looking at that scenario, just there alone, we're already over twice what this miner costs, which is 5,999, right? So we're looking at, which is actually a drop. It was actually 6,599, which I got it last week. They actually dropped it down, so keep an eye on that, guys. I know I will be. Now, if you look at all-time high, the all-time high of Ethereum Classic, let's take a look here at the charts here. We're looking at 1530, close enough, it was 1530, 1518 per coin, and we're looking at an all-time high, of course, obviously, back in 2020, I think it was here. Let's just alter the charts here a bit here. We'll take a look here where we're going here. We were at, yeah, $134.10. So that's what we have here. So if it goes back up to the high at any point in time, I don't care when that is, between now and 6 years from now, we could sell it and make 123 grand, 124 grand actually, minus your $6,000. You're already 117 grand profit in 6 years. That's pretty damn good if you ask me. And on top of that, let's take into account that that's a long time, right? That coin can go down, the coin can go up, but generally we've seen coins drop and they dip during bear markets, and they always tend to recover. And we got 6 years, guys, for that to happen. 6 years, meaning the Bitcoin halving occurs and all these other events will occur between now and then. But Ethereum Classic could become the next king after Ethereum. You don't know, but it did hit. So at some point, someone did see enough utility in the coin, in the project, to invest, and everyone invested enough that it pumped it to that point. To say that it'll never happen again is kind of naive. I think there's a better chance of it happening than it not happening. I'd be more surprised if it didn't happen. Right? And there's 6 years. A lot can happen in 6 years, guys. Okay, so that's a great scenario. 123 grand, 117 profit on this card. On this ASIC in 6 years. That's great. That's incredible, right? If you look at post-merge, if you're in Canadian dollars, that's even more. So keep that in mind. Post merge, let's assume it does go, and we get a 50% reduction on the 50% reduction in the rewards. Means you're going to get half of what you got before. just because everyone's going to go on to Ethereum Classic, the ASICs are going to flood it and all this other stuff, right? And say we get 50% reduction. And I'm only going to say 50% reduction because this is the cream of the crop, meaning a lot of cards that can mine Ethereum Classic won't be mining Ethereum Classic because the profits will be so low due to the inefficiencies. Think of giant farms full of 580 RX 580s. They're not going to go over and mine Ethereum Classic because they'll get destroyed by ASICs, right? So this is the cream of the crop. So I'm saying 50% reduction on this. Could be higher, could be less, like I said. But we're going 50%. We can go like 75%, and these numbers will still be good. So total yield per day is 2,000. So 2,141 days. Sorry, and this much per day, 0.20625. I just took that amount divided by 2. We're looking at 441 Ethereum Classic coins total. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there. So you see that? That's how much we'll have in our wallet. I don't care what I really don't care what the value is at this point. We're ignoring US dollars completely. That's how much Ethereum Classic coin you have. At today's price, which is 1530, that's still a profit of 6,756.17. That's if it stays exactly the same. It could drop, yes, it could drop, and you could lose your money, of course. But let's look at this here. We're gonna look at the all-time high. So the all-time high 134, we would still making 60 grand minus the cost of the unit itself is still looking at a profit of what, 54 grand. So you're making 54 grand, or you're going to be making, like 117 grand. So 54K USD in that scenario, and then this scenario up here, you're at 117K USD. Assumptions. We hit all-time high at least once in the next 6 years. Doesn't seem so far-fetched, guys. Now I know you might not, at the point where we hit that all-time high, you might not have that full yield, right? Because it could happen in, like, say, 3 years or something like that. But even if it does happen, and say at the midpoint in time, right? So in 3 years from now, you're still pretty all right because you'll have half the amount of yield roughly, right? So so instead of profit of 54K, you'll hit 26K or 27K, or in this case, you're still way ahead. So that's kind of like what my thinking is around these ASICs. Now, the only potential, just because you have so much time left to mine on this and so much opportunity for this coin to go back up again, to say in 6 years it'll never hit the all-time high ever again seems so far-fetched to me, and I could be wrong. And I'm not a financial advisor. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong, please comment below. But we have 6 years, and let me remind everyone here that no one has a crystal ball. No one here has a genie. You just rub the genie like this. You rub the genie's going to pop out of this bottle and say, Ethereum Classic will never hit the all-time high again. Like, what's the chance? It's 6 years. Like, these coins haven't been around for that long, but in the time that they have been around, so like if you look at this thing right now, when did this coin start? Back in 2016, so it's only been around 6 years, and in 6 years it managed to hit that. Another 6 years, you don't think it can hit that again? You think Ethereum Classic's just going to die or something, or just going to tank to the ground? I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening long term. Just once again, guys, think long term, and since this thing is so massively profitable, your only real upfront cost is going to be basically just to buy the unit, right? If we look at, I have a tool here for the, it's going to calculate how much per day it's going to cost me. So let's say, mine's around 12 cents Canadian, and this power use watt is like 240 watts, and it's going to run 24 hours a day. We're looking at like literally 69 cents a day, 21 bucks a month. I mean, $20 a month in hydro basically is your only. It's so efficient that it's hard to lose. The only thing you're losing is the upfront cost, right? Because you get so much time for Ethereum Classic left, and this is the cream of the crop. The only way I see my calculations being off is if this guy gets its ass wiped at the floor because a new ASIC comes out and destroys it in profitability, or there's so incredibly much hash rate on the network that it just absolutely destroys it somehow. But I can't see that happening because I think a lot of GPUs and stuff are just going to get kicked out. Like, I got RX 570s, but they're just not going to perform on ETC at all. It's going to be burning more electricity than it's making by multiple factors, right? By multiple factors. It's just not going to be profitable at all. And that's going to happen to a lot of folks that are try to go on Ethereum Classic, or this is not worth our time. It's only going to be worth your time if you have the top of the top ASICs. And I think those big mining farms are going to have these guys. So if you have one of these guys, I think you can be in the green as well. I think there's a lot of potential for this. Now this could have been a bad decision. It could be a good decision, but I've made a lot worse decisions in my life. For example, I remember buying like turbochargers for like old Civics and things like that, and spending like multiple, like at least $10,000 or more on shit like that. And it's a complete waste of money, or like paint jobs, or it's just junk. I bought so much money on stuff that I just didn't need throughout my life. That never get the money back. I always lost. So this is, I mean, in terms of the calculations and the analysis, my very amateur, non-financial advisor analysis here, I think this is still a good buy and it's still a good play. Let me know what you guys think below. I'd like to hear from you and your comments. Anyways, please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you're all holding up well in this brutal bear market. It's a bloodbath out there, although we did see a pretty good increase today. We did see a lot of the coins did increase, as you could tell here. We're up 5.9, no, we're up, 5.99%, looks like. I think that's what that means. Is that 24 hours? I'm not sure what that means. But we're up today. And if we look at some of the other ones, like Ethereum even, which doesn't really, because Ethereum's up too. Because I did buy Ethereum around like, when it was like close to the 900 mark. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you get notified if there's a new video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.